I am a full-time college student. I'm getting my associate's degree in digital media arts. I am working full-time, or I'm about to be working full-time, 40 hours per week, and I am running a business. So I want to share with you guys exactly what I do to stay on track without burnout, how I organize my schedules and time block out my days so that I can be productive and get everything done while still having time for self-care. If you're new here, hi, my name is Shira Divine, and I am on a mission to lead an inner revolution because once you change yourself, you change the world. My mission is to empower our next generation of leaders through storytelling, advocacy, resilience, and my own personal transformation, which you will find all across my social media pages. So make sure that you check out the link in the description. And I do have a newsletter where I post all of my research, my philosophies, and basically you get to like pick my brain and see all of the knowledge and the resources that I have. So make sure that you subscribe to my newsletter, link down in the description, and all of the resources to join the Divine Tribe community will be down there. And with that being said, let's get into the video. The first thing you want to do when it comes to goal setting or trying to get to any sort of goal is having a sense of direction. You want to know what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're going to get there. So the first thing I did was create a 5-year plan. I mapped out my next 5 years. When it comes to goals, you will get the most success by having a sense of direction. You want to understand why you're doing something, what the end goal is. You want to have a purpose behind it and some sort of direction. Because if you just have a goal to lose weight and you don't have any purpose behind it, you don't know why you want to lose weight, you don't know how you're going to lose weight, it's going to be very hard for you to actually follow through on that goal because you're not motivated. I really started taking myself seriously and locking the fuck in when I had purpose and motivation and a sense of direction. The first thing I did was map out my entire 5 to 7 years. As you guys can see, right here, I have a 5-year plan. So for the next 5 to 7 years, I can tell you exactly what I'm working on and the results that I am hoping to achieve. I did read like a research paper or something that said that people who write down their goals are more likely to achieve them. So you want to make sure that you write down your goals everywhere. I also learned this in the book called The Wealth Money Can't Buy and A Happy Pocket Full of Money, which it discusses in that book that when you start to look at your dreams and your goals and your visions consistently before you go to bed and right when you wake up, you are training your mind to actively start seeking those things, to actively start looking for certain opportunities. And when you have your goals fresh in your mind, it's kind of hard to ignore them and it's kind of hard to not work on them. So not only did I plan out my 5 years, I put it in every single calendar that I can think of. This is my big calendar that I have for the whole entire year, and I love this calendar so much. Actually, I will link it down in the description. It is from Amazon, and when I read that it was from Europe, I was like, of course it's from Europe because it's just so freaking detailed. This is a pro planner, and right here it has you write out 100 goals, 100 dreams, your craziest, wildest dreams. And this is actually something that was talked about in A Happy Pocket Full of Money. I will also link the book down below. So you want to write down 100 dreams. And in this planner, I look at this every single day to remind myself of my dreams and what I'm working towards. And it's what inspires me to get up in the morning and film content and to plan out my days and have that sense of structure because the end goal is going to be so fruitful and I'm really excited about it. I'm really passionate about it. I love hard work. I love hard work and I love the value of hard work. I just think that the energy that you're putting that hard work into matters the most. Because if you're working hard for something that you're not passionate about, then what are you doing, okay? You need to be passionate about what you're doing. And for the second page, we have, I just love this journal so much. Some of the questions are, what brings me joy and good feelings in life, and what am I passionate about? Literally what I was talking about. And I wrote, I am passionate about making an impact on this world, co-creating a life that feels authentic to me, me: teaching, sharing wisdom with others, traveling, nature, freedom, autonomy, and hobbies. Those things are what motivates me to achieve my goals, because I know that if I put effort into my business, then I will have the autonomy to travel and to help people. I know that if I show up online and create content like this, I'm going to be fulfilling that mission of having a legacy and helping others and building a community. This is in a direct alignment with my goals, and this is why I do what I do. And then the next question is, what would I do if money wasn't an issue? What am I good at? What are my greatest strengths? What qualities do I admire in others? What qualities do I admire in me? What are my top 10 achievements in life? This is so good, you guys. And then your journey. So you're going to write down in this box your current situation, and then you're going to write down your vision. So you might not be in a place where you want to be right now, and you can write down where you see yourself, where you want to be, and it's going to give you even more direction. And then you can write down your vision. So what you see for your life. This is manifestation, you guys. This is scripting. This is literally creating your reality. You have so much power than you were made to believe, and your energy and your attention is your most valuable asset. And putting that asset into your dreams is going to have a great return. I promise you, you will not regret it. And then this is my 5-year success plan. So do you see how very detailed and specific this is? If someone were watching me from an outsider's perspective and they saw my day-to-day routine and everything that I was doing, they would be like, oh yeah, in the next 5 years, that girl's gonna have her associate's degree. She's gonna have experience in case management and social work / humanitarian work. She's gonna have a very successful business, because the actions that I'm doing are aligned with the vision that I'm receiving. And the actions, here's the thing about hard work. The actions that I'm doing are not hard for me at all. It is not hard for me to get up in the morning and look at this. It's not hard for me to sit down and create a video. Why? Because I'm passionate about it, because I love what I do. And so for my 5-year plan, I said, I want to build a successful personal brand that generates multiple streams of active and passive income and a loyal, engaged community. I am a full-time CEO / business owner. I published my book, A Soul's Metamorphosis, and I'm working and collaborating with people. And then I'm also working at a company and as a case manager, so I will have social work experiences while saving my money and putting it into investments so that I can have a good safety net / cushion. And then just for personal goals, I want to work on boundaries, confidence, and showing up as my most authentic self. And then the next one is going to be skills and habits, gratitude, affirmations. You have your goals, and so that is my plan, right? And then you want to break that plan down into smaller goals, and you want to break this down into quarters. I hope you guys are taking notes. You better be having your journal out and taking notes, because this is very important information. And if you follow this step by step, I guarantee you there is no way on God's green earth that you will not have your goals, that you will not accomplish everything that you set out to do. Here's an example of a SMART goal. I want to build digital products, offers, and a sales funnel. I want to write and publish my book, A Soul's Metamorphosis, and create a short film. I want to build an engaged community on my email list and social media platforms. That's my goal. You want to take that goal and break it down into small daily actions. So for building out digital products, I'm going to set aside the weekend or a couple of hours every single day to do research, to look at what products I want, to just do all of those things pertaining to my business. I have a business schedule for myself because I take myself seriously as a business. I have an LLC. My business is called Planet Divinity, and I move and act like a CEO because that's who I want to be. That is what I'm striving for. And if I don't believe in myself, and if I don't have the confidence to show up online, then I'm not going to be able to promote my products. I'm not going to be able to do any of that stuff. A lot of this has to deal with identity and how you see yourself. And even if right now you don't see yourself in the best way, because I used to struggle with a lot of insecurities and just not having that much confidence, it takes practice, you guys. This is a skill, and this is what I like to call method acting. I'm currently taking an acting class under my degree, and what we learned is just different various acting methods. And method acting is essentially when you play the role of a character on and off set. Shira Divine is my alter ego, and if you are wondering how serious I am, I have this entire page listing exactly who this person is. And this is what you do in acting class. When you are thinking about a character, you want to think about their motivations, their missions, what drives them, their identity. You want to think about every aspect of a person's personality and create your alter ego. Stay tuned because I do have an ebook coming out teaching you exactly how to build an alter ego and all of this information. So if you'd be interested in that, make sure you let me know down in the comments. But this is my compass. This is my direction. So I don't get my direction from anything outside of me. I don't listen to anything outside of me. I do seek advice from people when I need it, but this is my direction. I created it. It comes from me. I don't get my path from other people. I create my path. And if you're watching this video, you create your own path. You get the autonomy to decide where you want to go. That is freedom. When your narrative doesn't come from the outside world, that gives you so much power. And so I'll just read a couple of things off of this list. Shira Divine is witty and charming, but intellectual. She carries a ton of depth. She has an unshakable inner confidence. She's humble. She has humility. She is a highly respected leader. She's a CEO, boss babe, hard worker. She can be a little stubborn. When she believes in something so passionately, she's sensitive, empathetic, she cherishes, uplifts, and inspires others to be the best version of themselves. She's not loud about it, but she shows it through how she carries herself. And so that's like a little description of who I am. And then I outlisted all of her strengths. I listed her morning routine. I listed her standards and expectations. So, for example, my relationship standards. She respects relationships to feel emotionally safe, honest, and reciprocal. She does not chase, convince, or force connection. She allows people to reveal their actions, whether they are capable of meeting her where she stands. She surrounds herself with people who are self-aware, growth-oriented, and capable of accountability, because she understands that proximity influences destiny. She does not tolerate inconsistency, disrespect, emotional immaturity, or lack of integrity. She would rather be alone than emotionally compromised. Do you see how specific that is? It's like I am describing another person to you, but it is me. It is a character that I show up as. Me right now, this is Shira Divine. So back to the planner. You have all of these goals, and then you have your important 1-year goals. You have a mind map, which you can put like a vision board in here, and I'm gonna show you. Best believe I have vision boards because I'm so serious about this. And all of this stuff in my calendar, my 5-year goals, I break it down into this. So here's my calendar for the month where I have all of my events that I put, and then that's my weekly calendar where I have everything that's going on, and that stuff is also in my phone. And I have another calendar that I carry around with me everywhere that I go. It has all of the same information. It has a vision board, and then for March, and you guys, all of this stuff, I got this at Target. All of this stuff that I have will be linked down in the description, so make sure that you check it out. And in this calendar, I have like my to-do list. It's the same calendar. I want to show you guys so you know I'm not playing. I'm so serious. I have my priorities listed out here. I have my weekly schedule and tasks. And then I also have this app called Structured, and I go in and I time block out my days and exactly what I'm doing. And you guys might think, oh my gosh, this is so much work. If you sit down on the weekend for a couple of hours, you can have all of this like that. And once you do it, it's so easy. This is about creating systems. Wealthy people have systems, and this is mine. So every weekend I check in with myself, I update my calendar, and then every month I do like a hard reset where I cleanse my whole entire house, I clean up whatever I need to clean up, I meal prep, grocery shop, do everything that I need to do to set myself up for success during the week. So during the week when I'm running around and I'm busy and doing all these tasks, I don't have to worry about what's for dinner. I know what's for dinner. I packed my lunch. I don't have to worry about coming home to a dirty place because I already cleaned it up for the month. Just doing these little small things for yourself sets you up for the future. You want to think about your future self and this version of yourself at all times. In every single action that you are taking, you want to think about this higher version of yourself. you can break it down into quarterly goals. And if you guys are following me on my TikTok, I have this series called Becoming a Millionaire because that is in alignment with my goals. And I share with you guys all of the tips that I learned, the things that I learned from, and one of them was breaking things down into quarterly goals and setting up a plan for success. So we have the 5-year plan, right? We have my entire vision for the next 5 to 7 years. And then we have what I can do on a daily basis, and then we have what I can do on a quarterly basis. I made a poster board. We are currently in quarter 2. Y'all see all this? We are in quarter 2, and this is everything that I had planned out for quarter 2. I'm gonna read some of this stuff for you guys. I look at this every single day, by the way. This little space that I have here, I come to this every single morning when I write my morning pages in the Artist Way Challenge. If you guys don't know the Artist Way Challenge, again, link down in the description. But for the first quarter, it was all about me kind of building foundations, and it didn't really go how I expected it to go. I feel like quarter 1 was really about me still shedding that old skin and old identities and kind of just figuring out what I wanted my foundation to be. And then quarter 2 is about building systems. So like I told you guys, my main focus for quarter 2 is going to be building those systems, and my attention is going to be on my career and finances. So in April, I am going to be on the main stage for TEDx, and I just want to show you guys something really quick. And this is why I'm so passionate about this. That's on my vision board right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. That is my vision board, TEDx. And then I saw the opportunity through my college, and I was like, oh my freaking God. And that's the thing. When you start working towards your goals and you start to see stuff coming into fruition, it gives you even more ammunition to just go for it. And that is why I'm so type A. That is why you see me so passionate and I have all of these things, because I'm seeing the results. This stuff actually works. I made that vision board at the beginning of the year, and now we're in quarter 2. It's about to be April into May, and I'm already seeing stuff manifest on that vision board. It is insane. You guys have so much power, so you need to lock the fuck in. You need to hop on the train, join the divine tribe, because we are shifting timelines. We are literally moving into a new chapter, not just in my personal life, but astrologically. We just entered the year of the fire horse, and this is all about action and momentum. So now is the most important time to set the direction of where you want to go. We just ended a 9-year cycle with the year of the snake. That was all about shedding and letting go of old identities. If you guys check out my community page, I wrote down a whole description about the astrological new year, so make sure to go check that out. But we are experiencing massive change and transformation, and you want to hop on the train as soon as possible, because putting in the work now will lead you to so much fruit later down the line. This is all about long-term stability and delaying that instant gratification. So I applied and got accepted to be a main stage speaker on TEDx, and you guys can check out all of the information for that if you would like to join and you're in the Michigan area. It'll be down in the description. And then I have nationals. I am on the dance team. I just posted a vlog, so go check that out. And then I have classes. I'm taking film and acting classes this semester. I'm working on my personal branding, so if you guys look at my social media, you will see that I have my Linktree, my Substack, and all of my messaging across all of my platforms is the same. And then on the weekends, I'm writing my book called A Soul's Metamorphosis. And then on this sticky note, I have my 5-year plan. Okay. I have my, look, that's exactly what I was talking about, monthly resets. And then I wrote down the themes for this year, because I've been seeing a lot of angel numbers, specifically 555, 444, 222. I've been seeing 222 all freaking year, which is about alignment, and that's exactly how I feel. And so some of the themes that I wrote down was freedom over comfort, new beginnings, rebirth, long-term stability. And if you guys are in my collective, I know that you're resonating with this right now, so make sure you introduce yourself in the comments and tell me how this year has been working out for you. And then May 5th is my birthday, so I plan on doing like a little photo shoot, and it's gonna be for my brand / business. And then I have one summer class, and then I'm going to be working full time, keeping up with organization, doing some business stuff. And then in June, I plan on moving because my lease ends. And then I'm going to be keeping up with my wealth ecosystem. Like I said, I wanted to do investments. So I have a spreadsheet outlining a budget every month, how much money I'm making, putting money away in a high yield savings account, a Roth IRA, and a retirement to make sure that my savings are good, I have money saved up, and I have stability and financial freedom. That is how you build financial freedom. And then lastly, I'm going to be investing in knowledge. So I'm going to be looking up and researching a whole bunch of things, which is why I created my newsletter, because in that newsletter, I'm going to be posting articles about all of the research that I find and just all of the things that I'm experiencing. And I think it'll be very useful information. I'm going to do the research so you don't have to. So make sure that you subscribe to that newsletter because it's going to be so good. Of course, you have to put pictures because your subconscious mind doesn't just respond to words, it responds to images. That is how you access your subconscious mind. And I put these here, and I put rejection because I've been seeing a lot about that lately. And I saw this quote that said, like, if you knew your dream life was 100 rejections away, you wouldn't be so scared to take risks. And it was a huge risk for me to apply for TEDx and be on a dance team. I have always wanted to dance since I was younger, but I just never did because I've been so much in survival mode. And now I am giving myself the life that I deserve, and I'm actively working on my dreams, and you guys can do the same. It is so possible for you. If you check out any of my videos, I have shared my journey since the very beginning. Since I was 17 years old, homeless at Ozone House, I used to go to the library on the bus and record YouTube videos on a phone that had no service. And now look at where we are. I have a $600 camera that I am filming on. I have my own apartment. I have a desk set up. Like, God is so good, you guys. And this was all because of the hard work that I've been putting in. It was all because I never gave up. And that's not to say that the path wasn't challenging, because it was. Let me tell you, the path towards freedom, the path towards authenticity, it comes at a price. You will have to risk being misunderstood. You will have to risk not being liked. You will have to risk failing, falling flat on your face over and over and over again. You guys will see me talk about the Dr. Phil show. I mean, I wouldn't call that a failure, but they did twist my words around to make it seem like I was lazy, when in actuality, I was coming on there to share my story as a testimony and to show people that you don't have to work hard for your money. Money is a natural result of alignment. And when you are in alignment with your passion and your purpose, money is a byproduct. And I understand older generations in the past didn't have access to certain resources and technology that we do now, but we have it now. And it would be honestly stupid to not utilize it, to not utilize the opportunity in front of you. I saw an opportunity and I took it. And that is, I feel like, the gap between older generations and younger generations. Hard work is still a value. Don't get me wrong. That is where I agree with a lot of older generations. I do value hard work, but I think that we can change where that hard work is being directed into. If you put that hard work in towards your dreams, that will lead to a lot more success than doing something that somebody told you to do just because you have to make a paycheck, and that paycheck doesn't even cover your bills, and it's not enough for you to survive, and then you're struggling, and then you're miserable, and you're continuing out this cycle because you're listening to who the world told you to be, not who you actually want to be. And that takes a lot of guts and a lot of courage in today's society where there is so much judgment, criticism, and all of those things. So you have to be brave enough to go after your dreams. You have to be bold enough and have the fucking audacity to claim that shit. That is what it takes to be successful, you guys. That is how you stay organized. So every quarter I check in, and then I also have a support system, which is another huge thing. You cannot do it alone. If you try to do things alone, you are going to fall flat on your face. I've learned this lesson the hard way because I was super hyper independent coming from trauma, and I was convinced that I could just do everything on my own, and I couldn't. I needed help. I needed support. And there's nothing wrong with that. I used to feel so bad because my mentality was like, oh, I'm teaching people about law of attraction and manifestation, but yet I'm struggling. I'm homeless. I don't know how I'm going to do this. But the thing was, those resources helped me to get me to where I am now. So do not be afraid to take advantage of all the resources that you have in your community. For example, when I was homeless, I got into this program called Ozone House when the waitlist was originally full and closed, and that offered me 18 months of free shelter to essentially heal. And while in this shelter, I quit my 9 to 5 and I started working on my business full time. I started a podcast. I was posting consistently on social media. Around that time is when I started college for digital media arts, and actually one of the staff members encouraged me to go to college because originally I was against it, but it actually ended up being the best thing that happened to me, and I've been on that path for a very long time. I've been working on my business since 2023, 2024. So I have a couple years in the game and I've learned a lot. And obviously, if you go look at my first video that I ever made and this one now, you will see that I got a lot better. And that is because repetition is key. Consistency. The more you do something, the better that you will get at it. And I used to have a really hard time showing up on camera and speaking and saying things because I would follow a script and it would just be really hard for me to be creative, and now I can't shut up. Like, I'm having yap sessions, the words are flowing, and that's because I went to school for communication. That's because I got up on stages and I started speaking in front of people. That's because I started talking to people, going up to people, asking questions, and doing that consistently. And now I can open a camera and start talking and be totally comfortable with that. So it just takes consistency, it takes reps, and it takes practice. So I hope this video helped you guys and you got some useful information out of it. I just wanted to come on here really quick and share with you guys how you can structure out your entire year. It's not too late. Start making your quarter 2 plans, map out your entire vision for the next 5 to 7 years, break those down into daily actions, monthly actions, fill out your calendar, and make sure you check the link in the description for all of the resources that I showed you in this video today. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe so that I can keep making videos like this and showing up on your For You page. And I will see you guys next week.